Welcome back to the FitBiz Journey Podcast, episode 2 with Parita Patel and myself, Daniel Neri. So thank you very much for listening to our first episode. We got tons of feedback for us, and just please keep it coming. We want to give you the value that you actually deserve, so you can get from A to B to become finally from just being a personal trainer to that fitness tycoon that you want to become.
Absolutely.
Right?
Yes.
Okay, so what is our topic today, Parita?
Today is a very, very important question that everybody should ask themselves, but almost never do. And the question is, what is your why?
That's right, the why. And we actually share our own whys, so you guys can see some examples. But I agree with Parita, the number one thing, so many people just get into business for the money. And or just to do something, literally. Mm-hmm. But if you just get into business because of the money, you are going to quit when crap gets hard. And it will get hard. Nobody likes to eat poop for breakfast, lunch, and dinner, and you will. So if you love what you do and you know actually the why, and what I mean is the why needs to be connected with some sort of an emotion that you're excited about, and a real reason that you can live after and you go after. Otherwise, when things turn really hard, you might just quit. So what is your why, Parita?
A part of my why is actually similar to yours, so when you get to yours, I'll be able to add to it. Most of my why comes from my family, and I'm first generation in the United States, and before that I know just so many hardships that my parents had gone through to bring us here and to give us this dream and amazing life that we live right now. And my biggest why is to be able to find a way to not only help the world appreciate what they have and make the most of their life, but also set an example for my future kids that whatever they want to do in their life, regardless of what it is, if it's something that makes them happy, makes them fulfilled, makes the world a better place, if they can dream it, they can achieve it. And so I plan to leave a legacy behind for them and make sure that when I do leave this world, it's better than when I first came into it.
Yes, that's a pretty awesome why.
Thank you.
So basically, it's similar to mine, just like you said, which is great. I usually say when people ask me, and I just caught me off guard with this because I wasn't prepared for that, but when they ask me that, what's the reason why I do things or whatever, and I always say that, well, my why is to make sure that I'm compassionate, I matter, I count, and give back. So basically there is actual value that we give back to the community, and then basically to matter, to count, and basically to stand for something and give back that I actually show that I actually lived. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
So people can know that, or I live for some reason. That's my point. Not just went through my life and watched TV and then in and out.
Right.
Leave something behind. Yes.
100%. I mean, you can be a zombie and just
exactly.
Day to day go the same, and then years go by, and you're like, what happened?
Yep.
But I know that you refuse to be that way, and I refuse to be that way.
Yep. Exactly. Make sure that you live something that you actually shows that you have existed at all.
Yeah.
Yeah. So to get back, my why that I will be very quick. So just so you guys get some more example, is that every 90 seconds one person dies from obesity, and unfortunately I lost my grandparents to it, and basically I do not want to see another grandson to feel the loss that I did. So that is one of the main reasons that I got into the fitness industry.
Yeah.
And the second, because what's going on in the fitness industry is just ridiculous, so we try to fix it. And with the trainers, the way they're being treated, that they not getting paid right, and then there is no good trainer jobs, which we already talked about in the previous episodes, and they're all contractors, no employees, no benefits. It's very rare when they have benefits, good benefits. Nobody takes care of them, so of course the clients are on the bad end, the ones that are actually struggling the most, because if you don't take care of your trainers, then the clients are going to get taken care of, and you use the contracts to keep them. So we want to fix all that, and that's my other motivator. The biggest motivator now in my why is in the future to create the most amazing jobs for our trainers and for you guys.
When I think about the why, and I know this might be slightly off topic, but it's still relevant. We're obviously catering to the fitness industry right now, and by extension, small business owners and future leaders, future business owners. But when I think of the question why, it's really important for you to make sure you're making a decision of being in the right industry and feeling like you're contributing to a purpose that matters to you. So, before you even think about getting into a certain industry, you want to find out why. And Daniel's reason makes 100% sense. Obviously, his experience in his life. I have a why for the fitness industry as well. Just a little bit about my background. I was in corporate America, great companies, doing value-added work for some people, but it didn't feel value-added for me. So I felt like I was turning into that zombie. Every day started looking the same. I'm at a computer all day, not feeling like I'm making a difference. So you really want to find out what matters to you. Is it about working with people? Is it about making the world a better place? Are you trying to help people be healthy, but you're not necessarily a doctor? Like, that's when I decided to come into the fitness industry, is because, no, I'm not like a medical background. Yes, I'm more of a business person, but now I'm able to do that for a reason that really matters. Because I lost both of my grandparents too, but not necessarily to obesity, but to preventable chronic conditions like heart disease. Which still directly relates to the fitness industry, which I'm sure everybody can agree on. Education is so important, and that's why education is really big for us. And so many people in the world have information they don't have the information. So that's another big piece of For You Fitness as well, is that we're focused on education. So when it comes to finding your why, you want to really make sure it's something that matters to you. So that's my 2 cents.
No, that was good, 2 cents.
So 10 cents.
Yeah, 10 cents. People can definitely take away from it.
Yeah.
And that's what I mean, these are good examples, but it's just ours. So what you need to do is dig deep inside of you and find out what is your why that you can actually stand for, and basically work towards, so that you're going to actually stay up late and work and try to figure out how you can get closer or fix what is the problem that you're trying to solve with your why. Like, if you play video games, for example, there's so many people or party out, or whatever the reason is, there's so many people who stay up all night, overnight, just because they're so passionate about a new video game that they got, or whatever, or the TV show, binge watching on TV, Netflix, or whatever the shows you guys are watching now, that you can be so passionate about that you lose time and you just basically do it. Because that's what I do, and that's what Prada is doing, basically. That I don't know any current TV shows besides what people tell me around me, but I have no idea what's going on TV, because I don't care about it, because it does not help me to move forward in the business. So that's why I have a really good why that I can stay up to all night and just work towards. Yeah. So what is yours? And make sure it's very deep, because you need to something that deep. And I wrote down a book that I highly recommend to everyone, and Prada will help me how to spell the author's name, because I'm bad with that. I would butcher his name. But it's Find Your Why by Simon Sinek. Yeah. What do you think? Is that how I say?
That sounds right to me.
Okay. Okay, so we are guessing, but the book is Find Your Why, and I think it's available in audiobook as well, so Audible. So you just go to Amazon, get that book, because the cool thing is about this book, and that's one of the first books that you should read, by the way, and tell you in a second why, because this book will change you as your personal life, your business life, relationship, whatever, because it digs really deep into what is your why, and it asks the right questions. I mean, this episode would be like an hour long, or hours long, or how do you say that? Multiple hours. Yep. So if we would dig really into how to get your why out, so what we're gonna do instead, we're gonna have a PDF format, and we have the questions right for you that you should ask yourself, and also link in this book to make sure that you can get it, because this book you will need to go through. I mean, think about it, this is a why that you will stand for forever in your life. Absolutely. So might as well get it done right. So invest into it, and this book will help you do that. And then the other thing that I really wanted to talk about, have you read that book, by the way?
No, and now I really want to.
Yes, you need to read it. It's a really amazing book. So what I really wanted to talk about with the 2 whys, that this book will help you, by the way. So if you're still on the binge of, because everybody wants to start something, but nobody meant to start something. So
that's true.
If everybody would meant to start a business, there would be no businesses, because everybody was trying to just have their own, or everybody would work in their own business. Yeah. But it's okay though. So the number 8 people in Facebook worth $1 billion still. So you don't have to be number 1, or you don't have to have a company, or here, the current CEO of Microsoft, he never started a company. He never created anything in his life. Meaning, like, he doesn't have patents or anything. So he is an employee who worked who worked the ladder, right?
Yeah.
From the basics all the way up to the CEO position. Obviously, it took him like 15 years or something like that. But long story, but basically already got there, and he's on the top 50 most rich person or whatever. So I don't know how many billions. I don't want to say something stupid, but he's worth billions of dollars, and he had never started anything, no company, no nothing, just an employee, right?
Wow. One of your favorite people, I heard a video from him a couple weeks ago, Gary Vaynerchuk.
Yeah.
Literally, I heard an episode where he said, not everybody has to become a CEO.
Yeah.
Not everybody has to have a business, and you're probably not meant to, because we all have different strengths, and I'm sure you definitely can agree to that.
Oh yeah.
So a book I would like to recommend is Strength Finders, and I think that it really was a shock to me because I've taken the test twice, and the first time I took it, it told me information that I didn't even pay attention to, because when I look at the job I have now, I'm like, well, if I had listened to this book, I probably would have already started working towards this before I even knew I was supposed to. But you should know your strengths, because maybe you'd be a great first in command, second in command, third in command. Not necessarily you have to own your own business or be the CEO, but you might have the qualifications to support another dream. So again, when you find your why, it's also important to know your strengths, and that can help you support that why with the right job, because that's what we want to talk about too, right? Like how to find the right job for yourself.
Exactly, and if you lie to yourself, let's say you get into something that, oh yes, I'm going to start, and everybody does this, and they learn the hard way, because it's way harder than you think it is. I mean, when you're at the beginning, you have passion and everything, but it takes years. I mean, it took Gary Vee until he got recognized, like 15 years of hard work. It wasn't overnight success, like everybody says. And he even has an episode that he talks about that. He created his high school friends and everybody who went out to the movies, who were partying over the weekends, who just hanged out every day and whatever, and they just worked. While Gary Vee, nobody knew who he was. He stayed home, or he worked, or he did whatever over the weekend from Friday 5 p.m. to Monday 5 a.m. every single day for 15 years. And then he has this episode when he just goes off because he gets really pissed off from all the people saying that you are lucky. And then he said it's not luck, he put in the work. So, which is true, and I agree. And that's what I try to say, that if you try to get into something that you shouldn't, and you just do it because right now being an entrepreneur is basically like getting a tattoo 15 years ago. Everybody did it, so you want to do it too.
Sounds cool.
Yeah, it sounds cool. It's just the stupidest thing ever to do. Don't do that. It's going to be really painful, really hard. And the market is now really high. So right now it's easy to start a business, even though it's not easy at any time. Yeah. But it's easier when the market is done and nobody's buying and there's no money out there, like no credits and no nothing. You can't get a loan or anything. Right now you can get a loan so easily. But my point is, when the market drops, you really need to know how to sell. So if you don't even know how to sell, why do you want to start a business? Because sales is number one. Right. But anyways, so sorry, we are getting off track. But,
we're getting excited.
But yeah, I'm getting excited, which will be another episode for that. But definitely. What I wanted to talk about is that because right now you're a personal trainer or a gym owner, but even if you're a gym owner right now, you should ask this question, that am I really passionate about training clients, or am I really passionate about the business side of it? Because in my case, I hated training clients. I just did it because I needed the money, and I knew what was my plan. I wanted to have multiple studios, lots of studios, hundreds of studios, and build this giant team that we have. And all these things that I had this plan, and basically the studio is just the pillars of it. Right. So it allows us to have a brand, just like Starbucks. Starbucks does not make their money from their coffee and from their Starbucks locations. They have so many other businesses that you don't even know about. It's just their basic pillars and branding. But anyways, to get back to this again, if you love the business side of it, then you should not be training clients. You should work towards creating and running on your own business. And then you should be 100% into the business and not into fitness. Although it can go hand in hand, right. But my point is you will not be the one person who is doing the training, otherwise you will work yourself out of business. But if you're really passionate about training clients, there's not a problem, because now you think, but I want to make money. Well, here's the thing. Trainers make also tons of money, and the personal brand that you should create. So let's say if you're, and we give a couple examples so you know what I'm talking about, but if you're really passionate about training clients, then you're a personal trainer. It's that simple. And if you love to help and everything, you shouldn't go into the business side. If you have already a business and you're training clients every day and you love that, and that's what you like to do, then you're a personal trainer. You don't try to be a business owner or gym owner. You should partner up with somebody like me, for example, or Perita, who is on the business side of the business and not the training side of it. Do you agree?
100%. And the funny thing is when I first applied to work at For You Fitness, I obviously applied for a trainer job. I was light years ahead of the one that I had, which I told you guys about in the last episode. And then I find out like many months later, after Daniel already gave me this operations role, he said, well, I never really actually hired you with the intention of you being a trainer long term. And so I was like, oh, so that's good to know. So he had already seen in me what I didn't realize he had seen. But yeah, definitely if you're a trainer, be a trainer. If you care about the people and care about giving them the best workouts, the best solutions, a way to get results, you're a trainer. Be that. But if you're on the other end of it, 100%. Stick to the business side of it, because if you're trying to do everything, nothing is going to be done successfully and nothing will be 100%. You're just going to be 50% of one and 50% of another. And that gets you nowhere.
Yes, or even worse, even deeper in depth.
Absolutely.
Where you started, yeah. And if you basically are a business owner, then your skills mainly about hiring people, seeing them, how their strength, trying to pull them out, what you see in them, and what you can see them. You can see that they can thrive in your tribe and all these things. So it's a way different thing. Versus when you're a trainer, you just 100% in the service and you just want to give the most amazing value and change as many lives as possible through your expertise. But here's the best part. Now, because of social media, Hollywood is coming to you and you don't have to go to Hollywood anymore.
Right.
So on social media, the influencers making millions of dollars. I think it was 3 million that the average fitness influencer made. Not average, sorry. Like the top influencer made $3 million on Instagram. And for example, Jen Schroeter is her name. You remember her butt videos. But long story short, that's what you need to do.
Yeah.
And if you read Gary Vaynerchuk's book, what is it? Just reading it right now. I forgot where I put it. Crushing It. And what was the other one? Crush It. Yes. There we go. Sorry. And
they're very close, similar titles.
Yes. Crushing It and Crush It. So both of those books will show you that the Crush It, the first book, will show you that if you're right now where you are, let's say 500 followers, 1,000 followers, whatever it is, how to get to become a crazy influencer. It literally gives you the recipe. Yeah. And he gave it to millions of people and only like 100 followed, right? But all those people who did follow, they became at least, I would say, millionaires, all of them, but they all make thousands and thousands of dollars every single month from what they created through their Instagram account and Facebook and social media account, because they became influencers. And it was so cool in the new book, Crushing It, read all their stories, what they took from the other book. So my point is, if you're a personal trainer, you definitely have to invest 100% in your personal branding, which we'll have a separate episode about, how to become a key person of influence. Yeah. But it's a whole other topic, but yeah, you must become an influencer on social media if you go solo. But even if you're not solo, you have to become a key person influencer. At least your brand has to become, because because you're gonna go nowhere, not gonna make anything. And here's the thing: you can make so much money, but you have to develop your personal brand. You work with other people, other brands, and you're gonna get sponsorships. And then, can you imagine if you have 5 million followers on social media, then how many people you can influence, that what you do every day to get healthy. If you're really passionate about people, you would really invest into social media and you have a handful of clients and charge lots of money. Like, you can name your own price. Last thing, and I stop talking, is that, unless you guys enjoy it. But anyways, we talked about this with Purita actually yesterday, that I should share this information, that when I first started training, I charged $35 per session 5 years ago, not long time ago. And
so long time.
Yeah, but I mean, in business, it's not that long. Compared to what I charge or what we charge now and all this.
Oh yeah.
So I charged $35 and I had hard time charging the $35, which is $350 for 10 sessions in a month. And now, most recently, 5 years later, I just charged basically $10,000 for a month of service. So if you see the difference between the two, it's a huge difference.
Oh yeah.
So you just have to go through, put in the work every single day, and then it's going to happen. But first, you need to know the why, right?
And that's what it all comes back to for this episode. So I know we digressed a little bit, but even what he said about personal branding, like, your why has to determine what your personal brand is going to be as well. You have to stand for something. So when it comes to getting back to your why, I mean, there's so many questions you need to ask yourself, right?
Yes.
So many directions you could go in that conversation. I mean, did you have a list of questions that we wanted to go through or anything like that?
We'll have it in our PDF
That's
file.
going to be in the PDF?
Yes, because it will be also questions, and then we want you to go through the book.
Yes.
And but on our website and on in the link below, the comment area below, we will, in the information of this episode on YouTube, and then also on the podcast and all this area, we'll put the links in where you can see all the questions that you should go through. And the reason why I want you, and we don't even dig deep into those questions, because I want you to read them, and when you have a time and you actually write it down, and not just listen to it, because if you just listen to it, you're just not going to take action. So our goal is in this podcast that they thought it just would give you value and you listen to it and you get motivated, all right, I'm going to do what they're saying. You actually take action, download the PDF, it's free, you don't have to pay for anything. And you download the PDF file, you will go over it, and then you actually learn all the details and how to find out your why, because without your why, you don't know eventually who is your target. The why is just the basic pillar. After the why, we're going to go through who is your audience, your KPI, so many things.
So many steps to take.
But number one is why.
The biggest one.
So we will give you all the details. Just please take action. And we think of this podcast as a course. Like each episode, you will learn a new thing, and they are all connected. So do not skip one. And I'm not just saying this to listen to all of our episodes. I'm saying this because they are truly connected. And if you're really serious about to reach the tycoon level in the industry, or want to make it big, or want to make money or a living on it, then you must take action and you must continue learning. And again, it starts with the why.
And before we wrap it up and let you go, I want to give you an example of an activity I did for myself, and it helped me make a decision of switching gears completely out of the corporate world into where I am now. Basically, you ask yourself 3 small questions, big questions, but short questions. What makes you happy? What am I good at? And how can I turn that into activities that obviously can make me money? So those 3 things, if you make 3 separate columns, what makes me happy, what am I good at? If you can combine a way to make those 2 things happen into a business, then you're going to be happy the rest of your life, and it's not going to feel like work. As much as we come into an office every day, it doesn't feel like work to me. It feels like something I actually really care about, and I'm enjoying, and I'm excelling and growing as a person. Partnering with Daniel and being like, he's helped me grow as well. So surrounding yourself with the right people, all those things come into play, and that'll help you figure out your why as well, like what actually makes you happy. So we'll add that in the PDF as well, because it's just a small activity that could really make a big difference in your life, and it made a huge change in mine. So I would highly recommend it.
Yeah, and think about your why, because why will be number one. Why is what makes you different from other personal trainers. There are 50,000 personal trainers. Just set a number out loud. So lots of personal trainers. Don't take my word for it. So, but there are tons of them. And what makes each one of them different is their actual why they're doing this. And I guarantee you more than half of them don't even know why they're doing this. They would just say, oh, for the money or whatever, it's easy or fun, I like to train people. No, you need a realist, and those people don't go anywhere. You need a strong why that you can speak all on your social media, share that why with everyone, share it with your family, with your friends, with your clients, with yourself. You have to buy it, meaning you have to sell it on yourself, and you buy that is your why that you can stand for. And so many people don't even have, they lots of times they go through this crazy experience, and that's how they get their why. Like my grandparents, or what I see in obesity, just pissing me off that I see all these overweight people and they don't even know what's going on because in school they don't teach it. So it's like, there is a why in you, and the book will, and the PDF that we'll upload will get it out of you. And again, the reason why we don't go really deep into it on the podcast, because you can't just do it while you're driving or listening to this. Right now you're probably thinking about it and try to come on, just spit it out, just tell me. But no, that's not how it works. You need to think about it. This is your life. One podcast is not going to change that. So it starts with the podcast, yes, but we're just opening the door for you, and now you have to go through and actually take action. Okay, so please do.
We don't have the answer. We don't have the answer for what your why should be, or what we would recommend it to be. No, not at all. You have to dig deep, just like Daniel said.
But what would be amazing though is if you would email your whys to us, and I'm more than happy to reply back, or even comment it or whatever on YouTube or wherever.
Shout out.
And then we reply back to it, and then I give you my 5 cents, and Parita give her 5 cents about your why, and we challenge you on it, and then see if you can build a business around it. You can even send an email to actually we should have created an email separately. We'll create it in a separate email, but this will be just y@fitness.com. You guys got that? So we just send that why there, and I guarantee you will reply, okay?
Yes.
So it might take time, but we'll reply, because we're getting lots of fan emails already, which is great. So anyways, Please send some feedback. We are not doing this live this time. I mean, it's live recording, but we are not live streaming it on Instagram right now, so we don't have any questions for you, but next episode will be live. Please follow us on Facebook, Instagram, Snapchat. You can find, you will put in our social media followings, I mean information, so you can actually catch us everywhere and ask questions, and we comment back. Whatever you have, just give it to us.
Yeah, we're really looking forward to hearing from you. I'm excited to continue sharing everything with you, and hopefully you guys will have figured out your why by the next episode.
That's right, and please comment, please subscribe.
Yes.
Please stay tuned for the next episode. Remember, every Monday at, what did we say, 6 a.m.?
6 a.m.
Yeah, every Monday at 6 a.m. Tune in.
On your way to work. Or not.
All right. Goodbye, guys.
Thank you. Bye.